Welcome back to Hippie Harvest Homestead. Today I thought that we would take a little stroll through the garden. It is very early in the season for us here in Connecticut, but we do have some things that are growing, some things I just threw in the ground, and I think it would be a nice starting point for us this season. So let's go take a look. I am so excited to get back in the garden. I cannot tell you. I have just been waiting and waiting what seems like forever. In the meantime, I did lots and lots of research to help me out this year. I'm trying to learn as much as I can about permaculture, about sustainability, about new composting techniques, and just anything that I can, and then sharing it with everybody that I can to just get the word out there. I just want to see a garden in every backyard and front yard, just all across the world. So this year I thought to myself, like, I've got to try out some different seed varieties. And I think partly because I just felt like we were so cooped up last year with COVID that I don't know, maybe I overcompensated for that, and I just bought like every variety I saw. So we were going over things, planning some stuff. We were doing a lot of different trellises this year, and Tom and I were going through, and he was like, okay, so what's on this trellis, what's on this trellis? And as we started going through, I started realizing, like, oh my god, I have like too many things that need to be trellised, so I don't have enough. He's like, you only planned like 6? Because I think at least, 10, 12 you're gonna need with the amount of seeds that you bought. So I think maybe what I'll do is just do a couple here and there and see how they do, just to try out, and then maybe next year I might change things up a bit. I don't know, but I'm sorry, I just could not hold my excitement in any longer. I just had to try out lots and lots of different varieties this year. So I will definitely be here to show you what works for us, what doesn't, and I just hope you guys enjoy the ride. I mean, I just think being in the garden is one of the most therapeutic things that you can do. It enriches your life in so many different ways, and I'm just happy you're here to join along with us. As we start to walk down our garden path and under our grapevines, we decided to expand our flower beds. So this over here on the left hand side will be all flowers. I did direct sow lots and lots of flowers. My design for it is just wild flowers. I just want lots of different colors and textures, different heights over here, so everything's just kind of mixed in, nothing's in any real order, and I'm kind of just waiting to see, what's gonna pop up. And it's probably a good thing that I had more of a whimsical design in mind, because between these two over here and the kids, everybody keeps trampling through here. And honestly, it's my own fault because I didn't fence it off, but we just kind of got caught up with some other things and we didn't get a chance to do that. So we'll see what comes up, and then we'll readjust and maybe plant some more. All right, let's take a look inside. When you first walk in here, we just planted broccoli starts. I started these guys late. Maybe it was like a couple of weeks ago, because we're busy with some of our other plants, with our plant sale, and they kind of got forgotten about, but they'll be big in no time. I also have a tray over there of cauliflower that I've got to figure out where I'm putting, because I kind of changed my whole layout. I had a design in mind, and I just kind of threw it to the wayside, and now I'm kind of redesigning. I did want to point out too, while I was in here, you'll see we had laid down wood chips, but I left all the dandelions that were here. It's important to leave them because they're really the first flowers for the pollinators to get some energy from in the start of the season. So I try to leave them. They're not bothering me. And on the back side of the broccoli there, we have candy striped beets. I just threw those in the ground the other day, so probably a few more days to see them pop through. Now this is where I direct sowed some radish. This is a Easter basket variety. You can see we have some just starting to peek through here. Here's a white one. I've never tried this variety before, so I'm interested to see how they are. Now across the way from our broccoli, we have several different varieties of greens. Swiss chard, spinach, trying to think, a bunch of different lettuces. And they're all just starting to pop up now. Here's a look at our peas. We have Alaska and Sugar Daddy varieties. A new addition to our garden this year are these raised beds over here on the right. And also this trellis here. We added several trellises this year. We really like to grow food vertically if we can, so it just made sense to throw some more structures in. This bed is strawberry crowns. This is a pink lemonade blueberry bush that I got last year for Mother's Day. Here's just one of our regular ones. There's another one. And then moving down the line here, this is all raspberry, the thornless variety. A few years back my aunt gave me some clippings, and now I have several plants from that. Also another thornless variety is blackberry, also came from my Aunt Janet. And interplanted there is garlic. Then we have another bed of garlic over here, a couple onions here that we just threw in. And here's a look at our established asparagus bed. As you can see, it's kind of wiped out at the moment. The boys have been over here just pulling things out left and right. I also have a couple of blackberry volunteers coming up. I was trying to decide what I wanted to do, if I was going to transplant them over here or not, because I'm kind of running out of space for them. And I think I might actually put them in Jackson's garden. He has his own garden too. This bed over here is our new asparagus bed, because we really like asparagus, so we decided to do some more crowns. So we'll have two beds. One of our asparagus coming up. Another one back here. I highly doubt I will get too many out of this bed because of the boys. But hopefully in a couple of years, with the addition of our new bed here, I'll be able to keep up with supply and demand. Back over here, we have lots and lots of potatoes planted. Here's the start of our herb garden going. All this stuff overwintered. Last year was our first year with the chamomile, and it actually looks way better than it ever got last year. So I'm excited because we never even got flowers on it last year, so it'll be nice to see how these guys do. We've got sage, mint all over the place. Mint's just one of those things that kind of take over. You don't really have an option. Once it's there for good. Parsley, little guy, oregano, and then over here we have some thyme. Oh, there we go. Here is Jackson, my middle child's garden. He's got lots of flowers coming up. His raspberries. And, oh, and he did plant a kale. A little tiny guy in there. There he is, but still hanging on. Jackson actually did a garden expansion this year because he just loved it so much. Last year was the first year we gave the kids the opportunity to have their own garden. My oldest decided she didn't love growing vegetables, but she'd like to grow flowers, so she's going to be working on that. Jackson likes to have a mixed variety, so that's what he has. Last year we lost all of our peaches to squirrels. This year I'm hoping we get a little bit of harvest off of it. Tom and I had discussed pruning this thing because it really needs to be heavily pruned. They say that you're supposed to prune it back to 3 main branches. So we talked about it and we decided to let it go this year, and then we would do it at the end of this year, kind of just to see what branches do the best. So that's kind of our plan with that. Now, one of the biggest things I'm trying to work on this year is our soil. We have felt in the past that our soil is just not up to par. So we worked very hard on our compost this year. We're also talking about doing some other things to improve our soil, like the addition of some rabbits, because their manure is some of the best out there, and you don't have to age it. You can just put it directly on your garden. So that is something we are talking about. We're also just working, really learning everything we can about permaculture and just the way that the land was designed and how to maximize our space and interplant, just to help with the overall health of our soil, of our harvest, because, you know, I just want to make sure that we have the best soil that we can have. Big Ag has been over farming for decades, and it's really hurting this planet. And one of our biggest goals here is sustainability, and I want to make sure that we don't deplete our soil, and we're always adding organic matter back into it and doing the best we can by Mother Nature. So if you're going into your first season in the garden, just embrace all of it. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to wish you didn't do some things, wish you did other things differently. But every year is a learning experience. Nobody wakes up knowing all the things there is to know, even people that study it for years and years. I've found, more than anything, trial and error really is what helps me grow as a gardener. I just want you to remember to take care of your soil, put back what you take out, and in the grand scheme of things, we are only here for a nanosecond, and we want to leave our mark on this world and let it not be one that hurts the earth, but one that contributes to the longevity of it. And I truly believe that investing your time in your soil and being responsible for it, being a steward of the land, taking care of it, nurturing it, is what's going to give you a successful year in the garden and many years into the future. Thanks for taking a walk with me today. Much love, health, and growth. Until next time.